Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to World Cup Café, a podcast that dives deep into the African football experience in a unique and straightforward way. I'm Emmanuel Nado, and we would truly appreciate your support of our podcast. With me are my esteemed co-hosts, Mariam Rubalcava, a Bay Area-based writer originally from Paris, France, a contributor to 7x7 magazine and Frenchly. She covers travel, food, lifestyle, culture, and major events. She also works in the technology industry. Eskander originally from Ethiopia, is a business entrepreneur, chef, restaurateur, and owner of Radio Africa Kitchen in San Francisco. Having worked for many years in some of the finest restaurants in San Francisco, he now runs his food catering kitchen and is very much engaged in the Bay Area African diaspora community. Serge is a founder of the International French Academy, a K-12 bilingual school in Marin County, and the founder of Marin United FC, a soccer club based in California, North Bay. He also served as head coach of the women's soccer team at Academy of Art University in San Francisco, bringing extensive experience across education, youth development, and competitive soccer. Welcome to World Cafe, my friends. Welcome. How are you guys doing?
Eskander.
Great. Thank you.
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm so happy to be with you. I like the presentation. My mother would be proud of me. And I'm so excited to be with you guys and the people who are watching us. Don't forget to subscribe and bring your friends so we can share all the excitement and drama. Yes, what are we doing? Let's go.
Well, we are here to break down the beautiful game, with fresh, unfiltered African perspective. So the first question we're going to ask today is what is World Cup? What is FIFA World Cup? And why do billions of people around the world drop everything to watch it? Eskander.
Well, Manuel, that's really a great question and a very pressing question because World Cup or FIFA, actually, I rather call it World Cup because that's more a bigger picture. Like food is a really, really, really community tire. It's there is nothing in the world like no event can rival the World Cup in terms of bringing the entire world together for celebration of, even though it's a sport, it's actually really a cultural connection. And to me, like food is it's a great connector, uniter, and of course, fun to watch it. And for myself, I was very influenced, growing up in Africa and Ethiopia, as the only entertainment we had was a shortwave radio.
Yeah.
And the only thing we listened really, the only thing we got out of the radio was African match, the World Cup, soccer and African music. And the rest of it is you just have to fill it in. We Africans just telling each other, stories from our grandparents and neighbors and stuff like that. So World Cup to me, which I had been now since 1990, my first World Cup in Italy, it is the highlight of my life in travel.
Traveler.
Just life experience and stuff. Yeah, no exaggeration. It really, really is a wonderful wonderful genre, a wonderful platform for celebrating the entire world.
Oh, that's good. I love the travel aspect of it. For me, World Cup is what I like. It's a finale because it was the end of school. My best years for that was when I was little. The end of school, all the festivals in Paris, the sun is coming, And we have also those little albums, like the world of soccer, and where you would have all the teams and you would have to collect all those stickers, and we will exchange those stickers during recess. And that was my World Cup. And also, what was good is at home at night, we will share. You can hear, from window when there was a goal. Whoa! And it's like everybody would unite.
Yeah.
And also, I like that you would exist because we were playing soccer every day. And suddenly you have the best of the best who look like me, look like everyone. And it was like a mass, basically a mass celebration. That was World Cup. What about you, Emmanuel?
Well, for me, the World Cup actually is a world celebration of a sport, one of the most popular sports in the world. It's so beautiful to see all these countries' flag and each,
Yeah.
like Eskander said earlier, it's a cultural event at the same time because people come to the stadium with drums. I mean, especially in Africa, but and some people come with the instrument, they beat on it, and they play music. I mean, it's a really something that I'm always looking forward to. So one of the other questions I wanted to ask you guys, though, we all know that it's the most popular sport, yeah, and how often is it played? Now, we asking this question so you can respond because some of our audience there might not know that the World Cup is, how often is the World Cup played.
Eskander?
Can I go? Absolutely. Well, the question how often is played has two answers like food. How often is it played? My answer is
Now you're making me
almost
hungry,
every day.
Eskander, you're making me hungry. Every
Oh,
time you mention food.
it is, by the way, it is like it's all connected. It's all connected. That's why I think I love about the World Cup is,
Yeah.
like I say, food or restaurant. It's just such a, such a, it's the integral part of, soccer, playing together, sharing snacks together, having meal. Even here, I've been here now, for many years in Bay Area playing soccer for 20 years in Auckland. You know what we used to do after we play? We go to African restaurant, to Ethiopian or
Oh,
Eritrean restaurant, and 20 of us share plates and we just talk about it. So to answer your question, how often is soccer played or World Cup played? Well, World Cup it's a grand, the grand event is every 4 years. Although some people hope, or even when I was younger, I hope it would be like every year or 2 years. But I think I like it every 4 years because it's kind of like the creme de la creme kind of thing. Like you wait for
Yes.
that. But
Yes.
we played it every day. And one thing I wanted to say about the World Cup, the soccer itself, is it's everyone's sport. It's the least expensive sport. I
Exactly.
remember I did not have the real, Western style ball until I was probably 11 years old. We were making our own ball out of the, old clothes, and, we would
oh,
dribble
nice.
with that on barefoot. So
Yeah.
it's really, when you think about it, it is such a humble, such an inclusive sport. Whether you're like little guy, short, or a tall guy, like a big guy, or it doesn't matter. Everybody played it. So to me, the answer, how often is it played? Even the World Cup comes every 4 years, which I kind of like it now. Like I think it's like you wait for it. It's kind of all this competition among all these, I don't know how many countries, maybe 180, 190 countries in the world. But however, soccer is played every day.
That's
Yeah, yeah. I want to say something about what when you say is you probably don't need anything to start playing soccer like you said. I mean, I remember when we were kids in Africa, we used to play soccer with lemon. you know,
nice.
Exactly,
yeah,
exactly. With
lemon
orange, with
with the
exactly, yeah,
orange and whatever we find, we can kick it. that's the ball there. You know.
exactly,
And
exactly, yeah.
and it's like it's the sport that comes from the poor neighborhood,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah. No,
You,
I
oh,
like, I
oh,
like that.
Yeah, go ahead,
Yeah, no, I like
Serge.
that because it's the same experience as you too, you know. I remember when I was in elementary school, what we would do, I mean, the climax of the day was, you know, just during the class, we were doing a little ball, you know, we start with paper and
Yeah,
then we tape. And we tape it, you know, those dark tape or brown tape. And at the end, you have that ball. And there was always someone who was gifted. He was supposed to make the ball. So during the class, we're looking at, hey, do it well. It has to be round because it's not a rugby ball or
Yeah.
whatever. And I like that democratic aspect of it. It's like basically you just have to score. And one
yeah,
thing that I really like that I see later that is very interesting is also when you pick the team, you know, sometimes they were like stereotypes. Okay, you cannot run. You're going to be the goalie, or you told you're going to be this. Oh, this guy run fast, so I want him first in my team. You know, so I like all that because it just like mirror a little life, but it was in a
yeah.
community way. No, that's what I like, and you didn't have to spend money. You know, as I
No,
said, like
no.
a lemon, you're in the
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly.
No
With
shoes, that's fine.
yeah,
No field, that's fine. No cones, we play. Yeah.
yeah. You don't have to go take. You don't have to go train like a tennis, for instance. Very expensive. If you're gonna have to take your kid to go train to play tennis. Uh, Football, you don't. The kid just just pick up something rounded and just two stick for the goal, and then that's it. You have a game there.
And
Yeah,
something that I'm thinking also because my son has a son who's 29, and I remember, and this is maybe very American, but when I was playing soccer, and it says something that my parents would never come, and we didn't want them to. It was our stuff. You know, it's like almost going biking, and you invite your parents for what? We didn't have the look at me, look at me. I think it's a generation thing. So that's, but every 4 years, that's, yeah, I like to wait and see the creme de la creme.
exactly. Like Eskander said, the creme de la creme. Many fans wait. I mean, spend years waiting for the next tournament. For players, you know, it is often the most important competition of their career. So, how many teams participate nowadays? Nowadays, this 2026 World Cup. How many teams?
I think they moved it up to, I believe, to 48 countries. It
Yes,
used to be at
48. Yes.
yeah, is that right? Yeah,
Yeah,
48
it's
Yes.
right.
countries.
It's 48. Yes, yes.
I, I think I like it because it's more inclusive. Although, although in reality, maybe you know what I'm saying. But however, I think it's kind of nice. You include it being inclusive again. I think
Yes.
you include more countries from like Asia, Africa, because it was dominated, previously by Europe and South America.
Yeah.
So the 48 countries, I think it's kind of like, again, it makes it even more beautiful because you get to see more countries getting involved. That means more fans will come. Like I said, I mean, World Cup, it's all about the fans. I mean, like people think it's all about the game. Actually, it's really, like I said, my highlight is just partying with all those people from all over the world, from European countries like Germany, Romania, you name it, like Italy, France, to South American countries, like you name it, like Paraguay or Chile, Argentina, Brazil, and African countries. It's just like the most unbelievable. The one thing you cannot repeat in a party is that it's the ultimate party of the world. It is just, I sit down and it makes like, a huge smile on my face because I'm just sitting and like there are people the first time I ever met, like from
Yeah.
all those, countries. I mean, this is just beyond soccer, beyond World Cup. So 48 countries participate that, and it used to be 30. I think this is the first one since it came into the United States in 1994. The United States has influenced World Cup in a good way. Like some rules change. Like, there's quite a few rules change, and then the addition of more countries. Probably it's just all about the FIFA. But I'm happy to have the 48 countries participate, and hoping to see some of the fans there.
Yeah, I like how you say that, where you can have all those people coming, and of course you have the usual suspects, Europe and everything. And I
Yeah,
want to point out that there's two countries that I'm going really to watch closely. It's Cap Verde is there. Cap Verde
Yes.
is
yeah.
there. Oh yeah, I
First
mean,
time.
yes, I think they less than 1 million people. Haiti
Yeah.
there
Yes.
too. Haiti
Yes.
is there. So that's really good, because it reminds me, the carnivals, because I remember when I was studying and they were saying the carnivals was those days where the people who were not as gifted, or who didn't have a seat at the table, would be parroting to and parading in front of the king and
Yeah,
mock the king. So that's the idea too, which
Yeah.
means basically Cap Verde can beat a team. How great would
Yeah.
it be? Haiti. And I like that little upside down carnival where everybody has a
absolutely.
fair shot.
Yeah.
It's in all fun too. Yes.
I mean, especially Haiti. I'm very, very happy for this country. That's the African country in, in the Caribbean. I mean,
That's right.
right to the United States, and they're in the World Cup for the first time ever, which is
Yeah,
great, which is really great. I think in a few minutes we're gonna have our co-host.
Yes, we can
Ma-
take a break. Yeah.
Mariam going to be coming in soon. But first, now let's continue. How does the tournament works? How does it work? Can you tell us how the tournament work?
Yes.
Like the breakdown?
Yeah, so it's pretty simple. I'm not going to go into details.
Yeah.
It's more, we have 48 teams. Okay, so you divide by, you have three by group, and that's the group stage, which means every team is going to play against each other. At that group stage, there's 12 groups, and then the top two move up. It's that simple, which means if you win a game, you have 3 points. If you tie, you have 1 point. If you lose a game, it's 0 point. And after 3 games, the top two moves up. And then after that, it's, as they say, sudden death. It's like
yeah.
miss or
Playoff.
lose. Yes. Oh, you can add Eskander. Yes.
No. I'm agreeing with you. No, I'm
Yeah.
you, you're saying it very well, actually.
Yeah. And that's straight up to the top.
So,
And,
so the other thing that we wanted to talk about, why does it matter so much, the World Cup? Why does it matter so much? Maybe Mariam could take that there.
For me, what it matters so much is because people from all around the world get together to live the passion of football, soccer, and we are kind of all together. Even with adversary, everything stopped during soccer. We just enjoy the sport, the competitivity, and at the end, the winner is the best, and we always accept who is the winner. Sometimes not, but I won't say when. I'm not okay with that, but it's a it's a way. We're waiting for it every 4 years. We imagine we're getting prepared for that every 4 years. And when it's happening, it's a big thing. It takes your heart, your spirit. You want to see everybody. You want to be with your family and friends to cheer for your team. I won't have my family this year, but I will be with all my French and African friends. We're all gonna get together. Whoever we support, we're gonna be there.
It's,
That's what it
yeah,
is about the soccer and the World Cup.
yeah. So it is a celebration for cultures, identity, history, and national pride. Yeah.
Exactly.
Mariam, could you tell us, because we are in the Bay Area here, and I think you wrote in one of your stories, article, you talk about where people can go to see this celebration together.
Yes, so as we are the host area, so the Bay Area in Lévi-Strauss in Santa Clara. So the region that decided to organize a lot of events and other bars and restaurants too. And there's more than 200 at least events in the Bay Area, and we have official FIFA's events.
Mm.
So you have a lot of fan zone in San Francisco, in Redwood City, in Santa Cruz County, and of course in Santa Clara because they host the event. So if you are in San Francisco, we have a few places like Pier 39. It's going to be a big outdoor event. You will have Chinese Basin, so also most of them will be outdoor events. And Yerba Buena Park, I think so too. And the biggest one in the Bay Area is probably in San Jose at San Pedro Market.
Oh,
So yes,
good
so we have a few.
place. Yeah.
Yes, and I think Auckland have a few places also, and
Mm-hmm.
we have a ton of restaurants and bars. They're all organizing things. So if you're supporting African teams, of course, you can go to the New Baobab little place. So they're
Where
gonna
is
be
it?
playing. It's in the Mission,
In Mission. Oh,
I
okay.
think on Valencia Street.
Mhm.
But yeah, Valencia and 16th, between 16th and 17th.
Lovely. So they're gonna play most of the game and they're gonna focus on African team. So if you want to support the French team, of course, you can go to Marin County at Amélie Fairfax. And if you want to support the Spanish team, you can go to Teleférico Walnut Creek. And if you support America,
Oh,
you can go
telepheric.
anywhere. And Mexico, you can go anywhere
Anywhere,
because
yeah, anywhere.
Any
You just go
bar, yeah.
outside,
anywhere,
can
all
sing
the
on the
bars,
street.
even in the street, even you can see probably have someone with his phone playing the game for United States or for Mexico. So you won't have any problem. And what else? If you want to go for Brazil, there's that place
Ah,
called what's the name? Uh, Fogo de Chao, I think. They're
Yeah.
gonna play for Brazil. Otherwise, a lot of restaurants and especially Irish pubs will play all the game. So like the Shifting, Danny Boyd, I think, something like that.
Danny Boy. That's Irish,
Yeah.
is it?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the Irish one. They're gonna
Yeah.
play all the games.
Yeah.
So you have the choice.
but that's
And the Hyatt Hotel too will be played.
You mean the Hyatt in Embarcadero?
Yes.
the big one.
Oh,
Wow.
wow. That's good.
With the view to the bay. I like that. Yes.
The whole
Yes,
day, the
yes.
That
whole day
you
gonna be
sure it's not
celebrating.
golf or something?
The what?
It's not. They're not showing golf or something at the Hyatt.
No, no, only football.
I know. I'm
It's
just
football.
joking. It's like
No,
you
no,
don't go to the hotel. Yeah.
no, 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 no. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the second segment where we talk about the human story. You know that every World Cup has its stars, its champions, and unforgettable matches. Now, Eskander, what do you remember? Which World Cup do you remember? And what there was something that was really caught your attention, or that was something that was unforgettable?
Well, actually, my first really experience was the African Cup of Guinea and Cameroon. For some reason, just just the name itself, being in Ethiopia, very kind of at the time very secluded country. It's like a country like really cut off from the outside world. So, like I said, in my town of like maybe 60, 70,000 people, there was no TV. There was just the only thing you could get is shortwave radio. It's like, I really love it actually, especially in retrospective now with social media and AI and all that stuff. I really love the fact we were limited. And so my memory was just the West African countries, just the name Cameroon, Guinea, Senegal, like it stuck to me, and then of course the World Cup was, Pele. I remember Pele. Pele is just a national icon. I mean, international icon.
International.
I should say was, for Brazil for years. I was, for Brazil just because also, Brazilians look like me, like most of them.
Yeah. Yeah.
African origin,
Yeah.
I don't want to lie. So I just supported anyone sort of who looked like me, who looked like African. So those are, I think, my memories. And then moving on to United States, I remember my first World Cup going was in 1990 in Italy, where I saw 6 games, including the final, semifinal, quarterfinal, and then 3 other games. And at the time, I was like really, funny enough, I was for Italy at the time, because I was learning Italian, like before I went to Italy, I was like quasi fluent in Italian. I knew all the Italian names, by the name, like from, Franco Baresi, Roberto Baggio, Albertini, and all those stuff. So I was, until 1994, I was for Italy later on, and then, went back to the African countries after that, from 94 on. I really like what is it now? Cote d'Ivoire, I really like Senegal, of course. Cameroon, I don't know if you guys remember, in 1990 really did well, Roger Milla and all that.
Roger Milla, yeah.
Oh my God, he was just like a sensational, it was like, he made us proud for an African player.
Yeah.
So to me, those are like my memories.
Yeah. How about you? How about you, Mariam?
So many memories.
So many memories.
Yes, I'm bugging right now. I think I will tell you, my family they're all about soccer. I was not about soccer when I was young. I hated it, to be honest, until 98.
Oh, of course, yes.
Exactly. So it
What
changed
happened?
all. We
We
were
know what happened in 98.
The Brazil France.
I like that sweet
Et
memory.
1, et 2, et 3-0
Not
The Brazil.
against Brazil. Yeah, so but it was at home. I mean, I used to live close to the Stade de France, not that close, but I was going to the Stade de France every single day with my girlfriends. It was so crazy. And at the end, we watched the game all together at home. And when it was over, we all went to the Champs-Élysées, and I never seen that in my life. You couldn't see the street, basically, the pavement, nothing. It was black of people. It was just beautiful. The energy, everybody was smiling, crying. We were all happy. And at that moment, I felt football, soccer inside of me. And I never forget that such an emotion I never had since we won again. And
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good memories. Yeah.
it's a good memory that since then I've been following the French team and also more for football, African Cup, everything now. But it's because it was at home. But before I would no way you're gonna make me watch a football game. And now I switch and I'm supporter of the PSG. When I was living in London, I was supporting Chelsea, and I also support Madrid. Okay.
That's great. Yeah.
Eskander, you spoke about Italy a while ago, and but have you guys noticed that Italy is on a World Cup like I think 4 years in a row?
Yeah.
What do you mean 4 years? No. It's like about 12 years or something. No.
12 years in a row they haven't been in the World Cup, yeah?
This is the third time. I think they're missing. I don't know.
Yeah.
Serge may know actually.
No, I don't know. I mean, you're the one who almost spoke Italian fluently. That's why you stopped?
Well, you have this when you're young, you have this infatuation. You're traveling in the country. You're speaking the language. You meet all these Italians are actually very fun people. There could be some obnoxious people too, but for the most part, really cool, helpful with the language. And then I used to. I remember TV was Serie A is like the free to watch it back in the day. So I used to watch it every Sunday, the game. So I was familiar and stuff like that. And that's why I was, I really loved the culture, the food, the people. And then, of course, the players at the time in the 90s were, when Milan was, the top players played for Italy, but at that time, like, Napoli, Sampdoria, like, all of those, Milan, Juventus, and all that stuff like that.
Yeah, I remember the game. I mean, the match between France and Italy, the one that Zidane bought the Italian guy. You guys
Yeah.
remember that one?
Yeah.
Materazzi, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
And
that was a pinnacle. I think it was the one of the Euros. I don't remember the year.
No, it was
But
the final of the World
yes,
Well,
Cup.
the final, the World Cup.
yes,
Yeah.
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 So
with the
yeah,
World Cup, yeah.
and what is good with all those rivalries? Because sometimes my American friends ask me, when there's a soccer game, and say, "But you guys are very passionate and everything," and then I say, there's rules that are not said. It's like, for example, when in Europe, talking about Italy and everything and those countries, it's like a family. At the time, Germany was the eldest, like everybody knows they're the eldest, but everybody doesn't like them, everybody wants the place. But you number two, it was France. Look at the German and say, and then Italy didn't like France, or Spain didn't like France. And sometimes those alliances, American
Yeah.
understand. And that's what happened with the Zidane thing. It was like a pinnacle, like
Yeah.
Zidane, Materazzi he says something
About Zidane's
his
mother.
sister's mother's
That's what I heard.
sister's, so-called activities, and Zidane from the south of France, Marseille,
Yeah.
boiled and headbutt him.
Headbutt him.
And we lost. And what was interesting, the French people were behind it,
Exactly.
So that was
We
very,
were all behind Zidane.
yeah. So yeah, it's a game, but family first, and that's what is good. It shows all those little rivalries. And going back to what you were saying, I think Italy, and I talked to some Italians, and they would say, "Hey, we don't have quality players. We need to be out. We have to understand our lessons," and that's what they're saying, and more training, because that's what is missing.
So let's talk a little bit about the World Cup that, in South Africa, the first time it was played in the continent. What do you guys remember of the South Africa game?
What I remember, we'll start quick, because I just remember we have to talk about the fans. They have those little
Yes.
things. What was they called already?
Vuvuzela.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
that was
yeah.
terrible at the beginning. I'm used to drums, and then you have those guys, and those guys they're not going to win, and that's what I like soccer. They're there for the party. That was my number one thing that I like, and also, I hide the little rooster here. They did a strike. The players did a strike, and they say we're not going to play. And I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on. What are your memories, the other people?
I remember a big embarrassment because the French team was on strike.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't
they went
remember
on
that.
strike, and I think one of the leader was Nicolas Anelka.
Yes.
What was the reason they went on strike?
I don't remember really.
They didn't
because-
get paid?
I think
Oh, of course they got paid.
Oh, they
They
got
were
paid.
getting paid. I think they were not happy with the
coach.
There was
Yeah.
some rivalry between the players, I think,
Yeah.
and it went south.
Mhm. Yes. Yeah, I guess there was like many big egos, and the
Mhm.
coach was very zen, relaxed, and say, "Hey, everything is going to play out." But those ego couldn't even get out of the locker room, So that's why and then it's like just fell flat for the fans and say, what's going on here? Yes, that's what I remember. What about you, Eskander?
I think one thing I remember was what was it that African country did very well? Is that Ivory Coast against they went almost to quarterfinals? Who was that? Like when what
Emmanuel
was the
is
game?
smiling.
Maybe
One
it's
African country
He's
played
smiling.
Uruguay.
yeah, I think it's Ivory Coast. I think it's Cote d'Ivoire.
The
Yeah, I think
elephant
it was
showed
Cote
up.
d'Ivoire. I remember Cote d'Ivoire playing. I believe Uruguay, and there was one player who stopped the goal with his hand. I think his name was I forgot. I think number 10. He played for Barcelona.
The hands of God again.
Well, no. It
There's
was the other
many
way around.
episodes.
The other way around, protecting from not having a goal. But I
Oh.
remember,
Yeah.
like I forgot the name of it, but what I remember was I was hoping, because it's a home country, usually a home country, home continent, I should say, you have an advantage. I was like hoping Africa would prevail, because you're in your own continent, because usually if it is in Europe, Europeans ruin it, that kind of stuff. It's like a home field advantage. Those are the things I remember, is just like, how far one country, I believe, Cote d'Ivoire, Ivory Coast, came close to, winning the quarterfinal or something. Don't quote me on this. It's been a long time. But however, I was just hopeful African countries would do well. At that point,
yeah. Like Morocco and Qatar, yeah. Morocco got very close, yeah.
Exactly. They beat, I think, Spain, France. They beat also Portugal, I think.
Yeah. They got very close. They are very close. Do you guys remember the World Cup in Brazil? I forgot when was that, 2014 or something like that. There was a World Cup, the World Cup in Brazil, where Brazil got really humiliated by Germany.
Oh, yeah, that was like 5-1 or 6-2.
No, it was more than that. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. I think it was 7 or something.
It was really bad. It was all the way maybe 7, 8 or something like that.
Oh, I think it was something like 7, and it was pretty bad. I remember it because I went to a German pub.
Yeah.
And they thought I was Brazilian. So they told me, sorry for your team. I'm not Brazilian, I'm French. Oh, we just eliminated your team too.
Like a double whammy. Oh, that's funny.
But they offered me free drinks.
Yeah.
Wasn't that bad?
Oh, that was terrible, Emmanuel, because it's almost like those rivalry that I was saying. So Germany has always been the bad guy in soccer for a long time. And I'm sure you remember that joke that they tell American, when Americans say, hey, what are the rules of soccer? He said, the rules of soccer are simple. You put two teams, 11-11, you throw a ball, and then you say, so what? He say, at the end, the Germans win. That was the joke for a long time.
Oh my gosh.
Have you heard that joke?
I never heard it.
I never heard that
at the end,
before.
the German wins. And so when Brazil would play against Germany, all the European, a lot of people wouldn't say anything, but it's okay. Kick their butts for us. That was the thing.
Yeah.
You would say, okay, let's watch the game. And then it was terrible. My heart was broken. When they got 5, I just switched. Maybe I'm going to watch American football or something.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Eskander.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go. Go.
I was just going to say, there was a good question, Emmanuel, you brought, like, how is this and that, the countries. There's something to be learned about. To their credit, the Germans were, it's all about workmanship, discipline. They never really had like a star player like Italy, Argentina, Brazil. All these countries have like the star, right? So if you look at it, something to be learned from all these countries are disciplines, different kinds of disciplines. Mm-hmm. Germany has, it's like their cars, they're very disciplined, like, together. It's the best team. It's also one of the top probably 2 or 3 teams has always made it to the World Cup, right? It's like, how they work together. So there is something to be learned. But then if you look at Brazil, it's more like playfulness, freedom, the freedom movement. And then you look at, Argentina, techniques, very like a surgeon, like precision, like a small, like how they work with that, Actually, Africa has that one, but then we lack a little bit of the cohesiveness, like, like the teamwork. There's a little bit of a mismatch. That's the only problem, in fact, right now in Africa is Africa actually has gotten so many great players, but as a team, there is ways to go, a little bit ways to go. They need to learn how to put it together, because this is like a symphony. It's not only a trumpet player or a pianist who wins. Everyone has to put an effort.
Jazz. It's like jazz.
So it's serious. So to their credit, even though I never liked their style of play, like the Germans or the English, but they're organized. The way they play is very consistent, But then if you add the Brazil, the African kind of explosiveness, something like a little extra spicier kind of play is what is gonna eventually win the game, is what I'm saying.
Anybody else want to add something on that?
Oh no, it's that's true. I remember sometimes I saw some cartoons where they would characterize the style of play. They would say, for example, for England, they would just kick the ball very far and then try to do something. Italy, it would be just everybody around the goalkeeper, come, we wait, And they would have Argentina. They would say Argentina, it's everybody behind. And there's just one guy like a Maradona, like a magician.
Yeah.
When they give him the ball, the guys can dribble everyone.
Absolutely.
But it looks like everything changed basically with that discipline. The Germans are still disciplined. And then the Spanish brought this little short passes really fast. And it's like this different kind of games. And I like how you say, Eskander, sometimes you can have teams with a lot of talents. But as a team, there's nothing happening, and a lot of teams are like that now.
You're right. And to add just one more right now, also it's becoming with overcoached teams, now with all these teams, really developing all these young players. Now, the problem is it's like way too calculated. So it's like, becomes just like, there is no room for little exploration, it's like too contrived in a way. So now they're talking about maybe bring on a little bit of freestyle, kind of like the Brazilian or the African style, where the star player just makes a little bit unscripted play, this is what they expect me to go. No, I'm going this way. So I think we're gonna see the next few years gonna be, I think soccer is gonna evolve a little bit to different ways, because I think that's if you look at the European teams, I read about it, unfortunately I don't watch it enough, is a little bit too coached. So hopefully this World Cup, maybe there may be some kind of a breakthrough in terms of creativity and different style of plays, and then some stars like Mbappe, one of my favorite players, maybe doing his own thing. So we'll see.
All right. Anything else, my friends? We're going to have to do a closing thought about that. And, the World Cup is not only about who wins. It is also about the stories people carry with them, throughout the game until the final whistle. So what are your closing thoughts? Can we have Mariam, your closing thought?
My closing thought?
Yeah.
Que le meilleur gagne.
Ah! May the best win. That's what you just said.
Yes.
Well, you know that we're going to come back to talk some more about the games as it goes. But you think that that's what it is. Your closing thought will be, may the best win.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
My thing was that I like soccer, but it's like a wave, a learning curve. It's, as I was saying, we go to the World Cup, but there would be just one winner.
Yeah.
And then everybody else think they lost. And I was saying, that's kind of sad.
Yeah.
But then I realized that it's sad. But you say, as they say, the battle is over,
Yeah.
And they go again for a new way for next time. So that's what I like about it. And also, as Mariam was saying, que le meilleur gagne. No matter what happened, I want good game and good emotion, because at the end, remember, it's the emotions, what we just have to make sure that it doesn't turn sour, it's like, even if my team lose, there's a team that can go and carry, or you find players, etc. So I'm just there for the excitement,
Okay. Eskander?
Well, I think what I would like to see in this World Cup, besides what Mariam said, of course, good games, peaceful games is always, our philosophy about the World Cup. But the one thing I want to add is I want surprises. I
Ah,
want like I say, 1990 Cameroon, the last World Cup, Morocco, what it did, just dismantling these European giants, and I want to see, who I want to see really do like some better is Haiti, Haiti, the small country from West Africa.
West, West.
Yeah, very West Africa. So I want to see some surprises, like some small team coming out, because you know what that means is a lot for the world, a lot for their own country, for their own, just community, to inspire the next, generation. So surprise for me, like surprise, winning, and surprise, like good games, like just winning even a few games. So those are.
Okay, Mariam, can you tell us when the World Cup start?
It's going to start on the 11th of June, so in a few days.
Yeah, in a few days. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. This has been This has been the World Cup Café. I, along with Mariam Rubakava, Eskander Asege, and Serge Njemba, truly appreciate your support. Reach out. We love to hear from you and your thought, and keep the conversation going. And of course, spread the word. Tell a friend or 10 about us. Thank you.
Bye bye.
We
Bye
invite
bye.
you.
Thank you
Everybody,
very
au
much.
Okay.
revoir,
Pleasure.
goodbye.
Ciao. Goodbye.